Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Arsenal Talk with your hosts Larry and Stevie. Stevie, how are you doing? How's it going? How's this international break been treating you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not bad, Larry. Saying I'm not bad, obviously. I am full of cold. You probably can't hear in my voice, but I think everyone that I speak to, he's got this fucking bug that's going around. Sniffles, aches, pains, sore throats, coughs, you name it. I've got it, and I don't normally get it. And I don't know what everyone else is like in London, but everyone up here seems to have whatever is going around.
Yeah. I've got a friend. I've got a few friends up north, and I was talking to one of them, and he was saying the same thing. Like, his kids have gone through it, and his wife was ill as well. So yeah, it seems to be a thing. And obviously, my parents are up north, so hopefully nothing goes their way. But I can just about hear it. By the way, so I'm guessing, is that just setting in? Is it?
No, I've had it for a couple of weeks, mate, now.
Okay,
I normally have things... I don't know, honestly. I normally pick things up maximum 4 to 5 days, maybe a week. But I had it coupled with gout as well. I don't know if you know what it's like, but wow. No.
Yeah,
gout.
I was going to say, I don't know what that's like, but that does not sound
the sprinter.
Good. That does not sound good at all. But hopefully, Stevie, you're on the way to recovery, right? Are we? Hopefully, if we still suffer through it.
Yeah, the gout's gone.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's. But obviously, I'll briefly tell you what it is. It's just a form of arthritis. It's a build-up of uric acid. It's when your kidneys aren't working properly, and you get pain in certain bones, parts of your body.
Damn.
Mainly your big toe, ankles, things like that. And you can't walk. It's so bad. It's worse. I mean, I know women that have had it and they said it's worse than childbirth. Wow. So that's how bad it is. Wow. So yes, I've had that coupled with the flu, cold, aches, pains, the lot. And I'm all right.
Why did I think gout was some sort of like external infection of...
Did you?
For some reason I don't know why. I've always thought gout was some sort of external. What am I thinking of when I'm saying that? What am I thinking? What's a disease that's on the external? Like, is it athlete's foot? No, what is it? Is it something along those lines?
I can't remember. Shingles or something?
I don't know. But I always thought, okay, so gout, it's more like, muscular or bones. No, it's bones, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it's arthritic kind of thing. It's it's a form of, it's fucking massively painful, mate. And you'll wake up one day and how old are you at the minute? If you don't mind?
34.
34. Yeah, I think I first got it around about late 30s. You just wake up one day and you think, fuck me, he can't wear a pair of shoes.
Seriously, that bad?
He can't walk. You need crutches, literally. The bedclothes will touch you. It's like someone just stabbing it with a fucking knife. Mate, honestly, I hope you never get it, but if you do or you know someone, it's fucking agony, mate, honestly.
Okay. Well, I know someone now, so...
Yes.
Okay, for any listeners out there, by the way, hopefully you're not experiencing that, and hopefully you don't get to experience that. But for those of you who have, there you go. Stevie knows your pain. But I don't know. I mean, how does it work then? Is it like, after so many months or weeks, you sort of goes away, or is it like just comes back every now and again? How does that work?
Well, you can go on medication. I joined this Facebook page a few months back. It was all about people with gout and their experiences as such. And there's certain things, and everyone is different, but the majority of people just tend to drink water to try. If they feel like a burst coming on, or like a bout of gout, how you call it, coming on, then you just tend to have to drink lots of water to get it out your kidneys, because your kidneys have stopped working, so then they build up uric acid. Certain foods bring it on, so you've got to watch your diet. It's just shit, really. It's just you can go on medication, but you've got to go on it for life. My mate's on it, and he said I can eat what I want, drink what I want, do what I want effectively, but it's a tablet every day.
That's what I'm saying. Life. Sometimes you just have to draw the line, and maybe going on a diet is probably the healthier way in the long run. without the tablets. But each to their own. It is what it is. Sometimes people can't take that pain, and they want it to go away. But hopefully, Stevie, you it sort of goes away for a while now. But there you go. I'm glad. I haven't seen it because you haven't screamed or anything like that on the cameras. So yeah, it's always now.
I'm going to send you a photo of when we finished, and you'll see, mate. Seriously, he's never seen anything like it. But go on anyway. Let's crack on, boy.
Let's do it. Obviously, the international break is upon us, and I think this is the last games, right? These were the last.
It's
games?
the last one. Well, I think there's a couple of games. Not obviously is the England game today, which is finished, and thankfully no injuries. But obviously, there's the Brazilian game next week. But we'll go about obviously, there's no Gabriel. Don't know who else. Martinelli's not there, is he? So that's fine. And I think there's a couple of Chelsea players which we hope they get injured. I think Italy play tonight. I think Zubimendi's come through unscathed. Did France play, or have they already played?
No, France were playing. Last time I checked, it was 2-1 to them against Azerbaijan, I believe.
Was Saliba playing?
Do you know what? Let me have a quick look, because I'll be honest with you, Stevie. In terms of the international, so France won 3-1 against Azerbaijan, and who was playing? Please tell me no one's got injured. So Saliba wasn't even on, which is good.
Kanate?
Kanate was on. He got a 7.2. Wow. Malagusto was playing. He actually got man of the match, 8.7. Wow. All right. So that's hopefully that doesn't continue into the Chelsea match. But yeah, so France, so Saliba didn't even make it. So I'm happy about that. We don't need another scare like that. But look, we'll come to Gabriel and what potential what it could mean for us and where that leaves us really. But you mentioned the England match just finished, and hence this is why I'm wearing the Albania cap, because this is my home nation, I guess. Even though I've lived here for a lot longer than I ever lived there. So, but it's my home nation and my wife's home nation. So I had to be a bit supportive, if you will. But on the inside, yes, I wanted Eze to score. I wanted Rice to score. And I wanted Saka to come out and score as well and just finish it. But unfortunately, that some of that didn't happen. England did win. But yeah, so I don't know if you watched the full match. I was only watching bits in and out because, like I said, international break just doesn't really interest me. Yeah. And I take it as a time to just step away from watching football or analysing our team or everything that's going on in the news. So it is a bit of a break for us as well, because I know you're pretty much the same. But on this occasion, like I said, I'd watched bits of it. I mean, what did you think? Did you look at that? And
I hated the Nationals.
Yeah,
I hated the Nationals. I think they're a complete waste of time. It was on in the background, to be fair. I watched the Serbia game, like I say, a bit more with intent because it was at home. But tonight's game, obviously I know it's your home team, but I watched it. It was just in the background, basically. I took no really interest. Obviously, to be fair, Albania did okay as well. I thought he's played. You have some decent players, and as a collective, aren't you second in the group?
Yeah, but I think that's just because the other teams have been absolutely trash. Do you know what I mean? Andorra doesn't really count. Serbia have been awful. Yeah. I don't know who else is in the group, but yeah. So look, I'm going to say that I'm glad that Albania took the chance and the opportunity to be second. They were the second best team in the group. England were always going to win it. They were always going to sort of whitewash it, if you will. But then again, you had Serbia in there as well, so you just never knew. But I'm glad that Albania took that chance, and they're into the playoffs, so nothing's really guaranteed. But yeah, I'm happy to see them, and to see them in 2 Euro competitions in 2016 and the one that just happened, to see them in those competitions. It makes me happy because it's like, damn, that's my home nation, man. You know what I mean? I like to see the flag out there.
Yeah,
so
to be fair, you should have went 1-0 up. I think you had a chance. If you remember it, it was just a clear shot on goal, and Absolutely. It was just a weak shot, wasn't it, at the end of the day? But I think he effectively should have been 1-0 up.
There was that chance, and then there was one from our midfielder, number 8, Aslani. He was in the middle of the box, open, and just didn't catch it at all. And you think, dude, you play for Inter, right? This guy plays for Inter Milan, by the way. When I say play, I use that loosely because he comes on now and again. It's not like he's an important player.
He's like a Marino.
Worse. You know, come on.
Really?
Now. Yeah, don't be insulting Marino like that. By the way, what's going on here? Then what's happening here? What's going on? But yeah. So I'm not a big fan, even though he's held to a higher regard than the rest of the team because he plays for Inter Milan. But he's not really a good player, and he has his moments now and again where he'll just pop up and shoot outside the box and score. But nothing to be impressed by. And what cemented it was that chance that he could have had and could have finished the first half 1-0, but
booted it. Yeah,
it just didn't miss it. But anyway, so yeah, like you said, in the background, and if that, I probably collectively must have watched like half an hour from a full 90 minutes because
me 3.
Yeah, Rice was in there, and it concerned me the way that he was playing and putting himself around the pitch. It's like, dude, no one cares. Like, you should not be caring about this match right now. No. None of you should be, but yeah, I didn't care for that at all. I didn't like it, and I'm glad that he kind of stopped it by the end, but too late. Did he come off by the way?
Yeah. It was second half, wasn't it? He came off for Saka in the end. I mean, I believe
okay.
I think Saka came. I think it was 70th minute or something like that, wasn't it?
So Foden came on for Rice, and Saka came on for Eze. But yeah, so I'm glad. Kind of 60 minutes an hour. That was too much as well. It was way too much. Just should give Phil Foden a chance to play the majority of the match, but
get a hamstring injury or something.
Yeah, all of it. Where's the Chelsea players? Oh, that's right, they have none here. So
I know. Yeah, no Reece James, nothing.
Nothing. Did he even make it on? No, he did not. So yeah, it was standard. I think again, the way that they played, it should have just. It could have ended 0-0 and no one would have cared, but they just decided to step on the gas a little bit by the end and finish it altogether. Yeah, so don't really care for that, and it is what it is. And just quickly, by the way, Italy are winning 1-0 against Norway, 10th minute. Yeah, is our boy playing? Let's have a quick look.
He's injured, isn't he? Ricky?
He's not even. Yeah, so I mean, I thought it wasn't even that bad.
No, I think they just sent him home, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
As a precaution.
Yeah. Okay, can I just say on that, right? We'll get to the Gabriel bit, but it just kind of feels like both Gabriel and Calafiori were, sort of. Should we do a pull muscle this week, lads? Yeah. All right, cool. We'll do a pull muscle just randomly in training or a match. They get sent home, get prepared for the rest of the Premier League, for the upcoming matches, especially for the next 3 matches. I don't know. It could be a thing, right? It could be. But obviously, I also read that Gabriel will be missing the Tottenham match, which, if it was a gamble, then you probably wouldn't report that. But then again, you would give that information out so that Chelsea are buying. I don't know. There could be something there. It just seems a bit fishy, to be honest, because they're 2 important players for us. What do you think?
I don't know. I think obviously I've seen I've seen both instances with Calafiori. I think that is probably a precautionary thing because we're quite stocked. Obviously, we've got Hincapie and we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, but with the Gabriel one, you saw him. Would he go to that? Would he go at that much length to sort of pull up and to look like he was walking with an injury just to sort of fool the opposition? It's a bit too early in the season for that, maybe. I don't know. You might be onto something, and he might make a miraculous recovery. But personally, I think he'll miss the Sunday game next week.
Well, according to some reports, they expect him to play the Tottenham match. But I'm just reading here from the press conference. From the pre-match conference from Gattuso. Calafiori left the training camp. We tried Calafiori. He had a few issues. I thank him for his commitment. He stayed here for a week, but he could have played perhaps. So there's no real.
Calafiori's. I think he's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there from what I've seen here. So I'm hoping that is just the case where he's probably like, oh, my toe hurts, fake gout or whatever it is.
Nothing fake about that, boy.
No, he would have definitely felt that. But yeah. So with Gabriel, look, man. This is exactly the reason why we don't care for internationals, because. Just randomly, a player from who did they even play, by the way, at the Emirates? Was it?
Well, it was a friendly, wasn't it? It's not as even. It wasn't even a qualifier.
Ghana or something, or Cameroon or some shit. Who did they play? I don't even know who they played. But either way, it's a friendly. So why would you even call up Gabriel, by the way, for a friendly?
Exactly.
why would you even allow that? Surely that should be a conversation to be had between the club manager and the international manager. Just be like, look, it's a friendly. You don't need him there. You can play anyone from your B team if you want to. No one would care.
Senegal, wasn't it?
Was Senegal? There you go. That was going to be my third guess. but yeah, it's just such a shame to be injured in a friendly match, and it was at the Emirates, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh
yeah.
God, that makes it even worse. And maybe that actually adds to my conspiracy. I'm already.
You might be onto it. You might be onto something.
I'm not going to travel anywhere, am I? Let's face it. I'm here already. My house is like 20 minutes away. So I really hope if I see him in the team against Tottenham, then I think I'm right. what I'm saying. If I don't see him, then obviously they're never gonna play that deep where they keep him off the pitch just to trick Bayern or trick whoever we're playing next or Chelsea, whatever. So yeah. Again, that's just wishful thinking. Sorry, and it's just a sort of making light of the situation because we know what happens when players get injured around this time of the year. The team starts looking thinner. We start dropping points, which we have done, historically, really, when you think about it, and especially in the last 2 to 3 years. This is the time when we've we're happy that we're top, but then all of a sudden you've got Man City breathing down your neck. And what we said last weekend was, all it took was one match. Do you know what I mean? All it took was one match to sort of not go our way fully, and that's it. And we're pretty much they've caught us up. So, and then obviously, to go into international breaks and then to add this to it, all the injuries, again, potential injuries, it just doesn't. It
just knocks. It just compounds everything, doesn't it? It compounds the way that everyone's probably feeling. It's like, okay, we could accept the fact that we probably effectively lost 2 points against Sunderland, but if we came away out of the last international break with a clean bill of health, you'd think, right, our lads, let's just push on. We've got a full squad to kick on. But because we've lost potentially our most vocal, defender, obviously you remember my pod that I mentioned 6 or 7 weeks back, and I said he could cost us the title. Maybe this is the meaning that I meant. He lost it because he might miss 6 weeks, he might miss 6 games, 10 games, who knows? And that could be what I meant.
Look, mate. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, all right? Let's not get too excited with what we're talking about here, all right? But yeah, absolutely, you could absolutely be right. And unfortunately, you did call it. You called it back then. That's not putting a jinx on it or whatever people want to say. It isn't. It's just, it was kind of reality. However, the counterpoint is that we're in such a better position with the squad that we could not afford to lose Gabriel, because that's definitely, we cannot do that. But even in instances like this where it's a match or 2 matches, there's good enough backup in Nkapie and Mosquera to jump in and cover that position, and we have seen that. That's not in theory these guys have been brought in so they should just slot in. No, they actually do slot in. Like Nkapie, like we saw him a couple of times. I was more than happy with what I saw from Nkapie. Mosquera is the same. He has a similar impact to Saliba, but obviously not to the extent of William Saliba, because he is our full-time centre back, and without him and Gabriel, then that's a definite problem. But at least we have one of them, and then the other one that sort of jumps in can do a decent enough job. So that's probably the only saving grace that I can come up with from this news. But unfortunately, it's still not something that we want to experience anymore. Like, that's it. I'm done with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So look, obviously Ancelotti did come out and he did say a few words. So we'll put that in there, and we'll see what was said from him. Cool.
Come off during the game. There'll be a lot of Arsenal fans who are a bit concerned seeing him come off. Can you say anything that might help ease those fears? How bad is the injury?
No, bad, I don't know. I think he had the problem on his adductor. The medical staff has to check tomorrow. We are really sorry for this, really disappointed. When player had an injury, I hope that he can recover well and soon.
So, yeah. I mean, he said he apologises to the Arsenal fans, which is, it's fair enough, I guess. But at the same time, come on, man. come on, man, what are you doing to these players? Again, sorry, this is just working on the basis that it is a real injury. So, you know, what happened? Like, what happened all of a sudden? You know, he gets a muscular injury. It's like, from what I saw as well, he was holding the top of his thigh. Is that correct?
Yeah, sort of like the inside of his thigh. Yeah.
So again, not really a good sign from Gabriel, but at the same time, it's like, you know, what happened? It's not like he travelled anywhere, right? He was there the whole time, right? He didn't actually go anywhere with Brazil, did he? I wouldn't imagine so. Anyway, it's like, all right, lads, I'll meet you here, right? I'll pick you up at Heathrow, Gatwick, or wherever you're coming from. so yeah, it's just frustrating. Like in a friendly match, for God's sake. In a friendly match,
100%.
Just put him 100%. on 20 minutes at the beginning or 20 minutes at the end. Just do that, just to entertain or just to keep him fit. You know, it's a friendly. Like I said, this is the time when they should be using the younger players. Bring on the younger players. This is what they're waiting for as well. You're playing Gabriel for no reason whatsoever. And now, if he is actually injured, that's going to affect their team. Did they play again? Did Brazil play again?
It's just another friendly, though.
Oh, just another friendly. Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm guessing they're done with the World Cup.
With the qualifications and everything. Yeah, it's just a friendly against Tunisia on Tuesday.
Which again, it's not even. You know, you're not even preparing Gabriel for a better match. It's just the same friendly crap that again no one needs to play. So yeah, just frustrating from my end. But like I said, saving grace. We have got a couple of players to jump in there, but I don't know how you feel about that whole situation with Nkapia or Mascara. Will they be able to sort of match that Gabriel energy? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is frustrating, and we have got some decent backup. But with regards to Gabriel, I did find out the fact is that he was training separately because they were nursing his workload, which, you know, makes it even worse. The fact is they knew he had not an injury, but they were kind of he was training separately, which indicated to me that he must have had something that he was nursing for him not to do full training. Why would they risk him to start with? Why would Arteta actually let him go if that was the case?
Yeah, that's it.
Seriously? So you start thinking to yourself, well, is it real? Is it a conspiracy? Getting back to what you said, but by the sounds of it, you know, if he was already nursing an injury, then it should have been, the red flag should have been, right, you're not playing, we're not going to risk you. He should have rang Arteta and said, look, I've got an injury, what do you want me to do? I don't know how it works, whether they liaise with each
I don't know.
Medical staff.
Is it a difficult conversation to have between the Brazil team or Brazil medical team and ours? I don't know how it works, actually. Anyone out there who knows, by the way, give us a line. Let us know how it works.
Yeah, I think, but getting back to your point about our the squad depth, we should be able to cover. We spent, you know, nigh on 300 million in the summer window. So if we don't cope, then, you know, people will have to become accountable. And yes, Hincapie is great. Obviously, Calafiori can play there. We've got Lewis Skelly. We could probably even switch Timber. We've got Mosquera. We've got a decent squad. We should be able to cope. I understand his threat from set pieces, but so what? It might make us play better as a team, as a free-flowing team. It might make us. I don't know, but we surely should have enough. Surely.
I like the way you put that there. You know, it could give us an opportunity to explore different tactics now, different schemes, not just from set pieces, but just like you said, in general, the way that we're playing with the ball and the way that we're moving forward, or, you know, not really moving it forward the way that we want to. So yeah, that could also be something that comes out of this, where it could work in our favour, but at the same time, it is someone that you do not want to be missing from any of our matches. You know, even EFL games, for example, you know, you sometimes think, damn, I wish Gabriel would play this, because we're just maybe, you know, struggling with the younger guys. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on, and it also feels like rapidly I don't know how it's happened, right? But it kind of feels like last season when we bought backups, but then the main players got injured, and then the backups started slotting in for the main 11, and then we had no more backups for when the backups got injured. So this is what is absolutely frightening me right now, is this situation where I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know how we're sort of finding ourselves back in this scenario, but unfortunately, it's on its way to being repeated. You know, and again, I don't know how that's happened because we spent 300 million plus on players, and I don't know how we're back in this situation. Right, Gyökeres injured, Havertz, Odegaard, all that stuff. Madueke is injured, who was a backup. Who else is out there? Gabriel's obviously injured now. Calafiori's injured, and he's injury prone. Nkapie was injured as well, wasn't he? At some point, I think. Nkapie was injured before he came.
I think he had a slight muscle. Yeah, he was only out for like a week or something.
Right. Okay. So that's briefly. Fair enough. And yeah, I would like to see more of them, but not instead of. I'd like to see more of them, even as a sub. At the end of the game, we're winning, but I don't know. That's the way I see it anyway.
I think you've got a point. Like all these players that we bought and the backups were playing instead of the main people, etc., last season. Now, when you put it like that, it makes you start to think that is it the manager's fault? Just because he's not managing the players correctly. Like we've said it how many times, players are staying on. He's playing his best team. When the game's won or it's insignificant, why is he not rotating these players? Why is he not giving the likes? Like against Sunderland, he made one substitution. Why didn't that effectively cost us probably the 3 points because he didn't rotate the players. But is it down to Arteta? We can sit here. We will never know the true answer. Obviously, we will at the end of the season. If that's the case, that our players have burnt out, and that's my concern with Rice, that he will be burnt out come sort of March, April time. So, yeah, or is it a good thing the fact that all our injuries are starting now, and then after Christmas we'll all get them back and we'll be able to push on? But again, could it be too late? We could be too far behind because Pep Guardiola or whoever's going to be challenging has rotated their squad correctly and we haven't. So we've got the massive amount of injuries. It's fucking outrageous, really, when you think about it. Yeah. When you think about all the players that we've got injured.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, and they're all potentially first team starters, first 11 players, and they're not even academy or third rate players. So yeah, the blame. I mean, if the same situation actually happens as it did last season, then yeah, there must be something going on there that's not working from the coaching staff. Maybe they're asking too much from the players, and I mean, yeah, maybe the limits have been reached. There's only so many games you can play the way that we played and winning. And I really hope, as I've said many times, and people are going to get tired of me saying it, it's just hope that it's not going to be that Emery 18-19 season or 19-20 season, whatever it was before Arteta came, where we had that 20+ unbeaten run. And it's like, that was one of the worst things that I've ever seen. That was one of the worst periods that I've ever watched our team, where it's so frustrating. It's like, how are we not losing? We have played garbage. But again, the good thing is this time round is that we actually have been performing better, even though it doesn't seem that way, but we have won matches because of our performance, whether it's the passes that we do or the where we find our players and how we control the midfield and so on. But yeah, it's now it's that fear again. That's the only way I can put it. It's that fear again now, where it's like, yeah, I've kind of seen this before, and I've seen this many times. So I don't know, Stevie, hopefully no more of this now. Hopefully no more of this.
I think, I don't know about you, but this moment in time, look, it's not great to lose anyone. Obviously, Gyökeres, to me, is very, very important to the team, as we've said, and as it's now been proved. I think Big Gabby obviously is a massive loss. But to me, if we'd lost someone like Declan Rice, I think he would be the biggest loss out of everybody, because we haven't got that engine. And I've said this to you in the past, or I might have sent you in a text. In January, we need to be signing a replacement for Rice. No, we're not a winger, not a defender, not a striker or right wing or whatever. We need to be signing someone that can come in, because obviously Norgard isn't, because Arteta's not trusting him. So we need to sign someone in midfield that can come in and be the legs when Rice isn't playing, because when he's not playing, we've said it, how much we look kind of, not flat, but just a completely weaker team. We don't look as though we can go on and push, because he's the driving force, isn't he, in midfield? I know we slate him sometimes, but if we lose him for any length of time, season's gone.
It's something that I will have to agree with you on, because again, we have players like Zubamendi, but he can't do what Rice does to the same effect. Where the strength and the engine that Rice has. Yeah, there isn't anyone in the team that could come in and do that job. So yeah, it's again, Steve. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. The fear. It's all these little things that start seeping in. And I know we're going to sound pessimistic out there to everyone. We're going to sound very negative, but this is the real Arsenal talk. This is the stuff that we're concerned about. And going, but let's see what the season's like. Yeah, okay, well, that's easy. Okay, we'll do that next time. Just a 2-minute episode where it's like, I know we're doing shit right now, but we'll see what happens. All right, thank you for listening. We could. That's easy done, but that's not the point. The point is to have this discussion where it's like, okay, if it doesn't play out the way we're talking about it, then brilliant. Shit, we're going to be happy. We're not going to be coming on a pod going, I can't believe we turned it round and we won that title. It's like, no. But this is the real side of it. So just for people out there going, ooh, a bit negative. We're not negative. It's just, again, we're watching with our eyes. History dictates the way that we think. So we've said that
100%.
before. But yeah, look, Rice is definitely an important player for us, but another player that we sort of have to touch on really, and hopefully he comes back for the next 3 matches, is our number 9, is Victor the Gyökeres, the Yockster, whatever you want to call him. He's the Yocker and the Batman, I don't know, whatever, right? So, Stevie, look, there's you sent me something that Alan Pardew was talking about. I think it was Pardew, wasn't it? On TalkSport. So I'm going to play that now because I only heard parts of it. So I'm going to play that now for everyone, and we'll have a quick discussion because it's about Gyökeres, and we'll chat about it. So hopefully this is the right one, by the way. I don't know.
Can I tell you what I'd be concerned about if I was an Arsenal fan? Gyökeres so far.
Gyökeres.
I mean, I'm looking at him thinking, I want a bit more from you. When he was at... I go back... Sporting Lisbon's different because it's a different kind of culture, right? And Sporting Lisbon, a great team he was in. And he was always going to get goals there. But when he was at Coventry, he looked quick down the side of the pitch, like proper quick. And now in the Premier League, he didn't look quick today, did he?
No.
There was times he had the march and didn't get past the centre backs, and it's a concern, I think, whether this kid is going to have to step up and be this number 9 that Arsenal have been waiting for 3 years.
A lot of pressure.
So there is a lot of pressure on him.
Okay, I just want to say that I don't think there is that much pressure on Gyökeres, I'll be honest, right? I don't think there's that much the way that Pardew is portraying it. I don't think there is, because every time we've had a discussion about Gyökeres this season so far, we've always had good things to say about him. Obviously, we'd love for him to score. That goes without saying because that's what we bought him for. But the way that he plays, it enables the rest of the team to be very good as well and to open up spaces. So personally, I don't think there's that much pressure on him. As a player, as a altogether player, obviously we'd love for him to score, which I think he will definitely start scoring. And didn't we predict around November, December time? We said that he was going to potentially start, getting up to speed with things. And
before he was injury, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. So obviously injury was a bit of a kick in the nuts, really. But it looked like he was sort of coming up to speed with the team in the league. So yeah. I don't know how you see that particular line from Pardew, but definitely I don't think there's pressure on Gyökeres.
I thought there would potentially be pressure on Gyökeres when he first signed for us. Just purely on the fact is, everyone was talking about this glaring hole that we had up front of a number 9 that was going to sort of take us to the promised land of winning the Premiership, Champions League, and I understand that, and I understand where people are coming from, and I thought that myself. But I think with Gyökeres, what he's bringing to the team, and I'm hoping that he does start scoring soon, because he was so feared when he was playing for Sporting. I think he had this aura about him where he would score every game, and that's hopefully transpired into the Premiership. But the thing with that is, and that's why we miss him so much, is because he has that fear factor where everyone's worried that fact he's going to score, so he'll drag players out of position and he'll allow better players like Saka and Martinelli or Eza or Odegaard, whoever, to have the freedom, whereas when he's not playing, our team doesn't function the same. It's so evident that that's happening, and there's no pressure on him. Like you say, he can, because he's getting the plaudits now for what he does, where he's taking players down. He's running into the channels, like I think Alan Shearer said a couple of weeks ago. But no pressure. No, I think when he comes back, we'll see the best of him.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm glad that we're in agreement with that, which I knew we would be because of the previous conversation that we've had on the pod about Gyökeres. But yeah, and it was totally evident against Sunderland, because we didn't have it didn't seem like we had a plan B. Even in the second half when we played better, it wasn't our best. It wasn't the sort of the best that we can give. God, I can't even speak tonight. I don't know why. I'm emotional about Albania losing, so I apologise to everyone. If you see some tears, they're fake. So yeah, with what Pardew was saying, yes, obviously we want him to be this great number 9 and come and save the team sort of thing. But he's provided something that. Something different, where it's almost like, oh, okay, so this guy can score. He's very good in front of goal when he gets the opportunity, but then he plays like this as well. It's like, all right, cool. That's for us, at least, as long as he's doing one of those things and the rest of the team are doing the other, it's fine. And this is what we always saying, especially in the last couple of games, like as a squad, we are very, very good. Individually, we may not have like the best players, barring defence, like barring our centre backs, which are really, excellent. But so for the rest of the team, it's just they have to not pick up the slack, but they do the other side of it. So if Gyökeres is doing the running, they're doing the scoring, and vice versa. But yeah, I think it was interesting from Pardew really, because he's on a platform like TalkSport, and as much as I don't really want to talk about them at all, because I don't really care for them and their presenters. So it comes as no surprise that this came from Pardew on a TalkSport interview. And I think, what game was that? After which game?
Which one, off the Pardew?
Yeah, the Pardew one. I can't remember which game it was.
It may have been the Liverpool game, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that was way too early as well. To add too much pressure on him, it was a bit early as well. So, right, okay. Look, because I know you have something planned for the second part of the pod, if you will. Not second part, but the part coming up. But I did actually just want to mention. Interestingly, there was something that Danny Murphy said, which I will play now, and it's more fun, more trivial sort of thing, and let's entertain ourselves, shall we? Here we go. Danny Murphy, welcome to the studio. And over to you, Danny.
They can't maintain this level of impregnability. You have bad days.
Are they going to outdo Chelsea? 0405. They conceded 15.
No. Can't see that. 15 is nothing short of ridiculous. Honestly, that's absolutely crazy numbers. They'll have a little bad spell where they concede a couple here and there, and I'd be amazed if they equal or beat that. Absolutely amazed.
Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy. I mean, Danny boy. Oh no, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's up until the Sunderland game. I really thought it's something that we could definitely pull off, to be honest. But then after watching the Sunderland game, not because we conceded 2, obviously, which doesn't help this early on, but just watching that match, you think there's still weaknesses in this team. There's still weaknesses to be explored here. Exploited, not explored. Be exploited. But then again, I feel that Sunderland game came at a time where it was almost international break, and it's like, all right, lads, we're going to not slack this game off, but it just kind of had that vibe about it. As we said, that first half was just terrible to begin with. So, but yeah, I think it's interesting from Danny Murphy to say that. I mean, what do you think? Is this something that we could have potentially done, or still do, actually? I don't know.
I think Murphy does have a point. I know sometimes you just play devil's advocate trying to and reverse psychology and everything, because he probably knows certain players or certain people close to the club might listen to it and, so and so said this and what do you think, and it kind of does sometimes play on players' minds. I have got some stats as well from since 2010 season up to the present. I won't give you them all. But obviously Chelsea got their record of 15, didn't they? And was it 2004, 2005 or something like that?
04 or 05, yeah.
Was it 04?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was close to when we...
Sorry. we were invincible the season before.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
all season without getting defeat. So, right.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there.
You just let you breathe it in, yeah. No, so Chelsea, I do think that was kind of unheard of, really. It's not. I don't think they can never be broken. We've obviously got 10 goals. I mean, we potentially could get close to it. But I've got some stats here, just obviously from the last 15 years of previous Premiership winners and how many have conceded. The closest one to that was Man City with 23, and that was in I think it was about 2018, 2019. Was Guardiola there then? I can't remember really.
Guardiola
was he been there? Yeah,
from 2016.
So they conceded 23 in that year. That's the closest anyone's ever come to that. So it's still pretty good, that. Now, we potentially could get close. We could beat that. Whether we beat the 15, I don't know. I think it's a hard task, that one, especially with the amount of games that we've got. There's more games in the Champions League, etc., etc. That's probably why it won't get ever broken, because of the amount of more games there's played and the size of the squad, etc., and obviously all the injuries, coupled with that. I think the problem with that is obviously with Chelsea. I think. And all the previous Premiership winners, and I think we alluded to this a few pods back about it's all right having the best defence, and I don't think the best defence actually wins you championships, because if you look at all the previous winners, they've all got really good goals for, so they've also scored a lot of goals. Might have conceded 30s and 40s, but the goals that they've scored, that wins you games, and that's my concern with us. Yes, we might not lose many games, but we're not going to win them because we haven't got that attacking prowess that the likes of City, Liverpool and Chelsea have, which is what I want to come on to, and obviously we have a moment to talk about them. But yeah, I think obviously with the Murphy comment, I think he's probably right, to be fair. As much as I'd love us to get close to it, I think as soon as we pass that, then it's less pressure, because it's like I felt as though because we had so many clean sheets. I don't know what you thought to that, but obviously every game that went by, sort of the pressure built. Oh, we can't concede. We didn't get beat, but we conceded 2. But so what? We're away from home. Let's just crack on and go on another 10 game not conceding.
Personally, right? I don't know what that first line was. Personally, I don't care about the 15 goal conceded or not, to be honest, because at the end of the day, like you said as well, what matters is the result at the end. There's been teams that have conceded 30, 40 goals a season, but they've actually scored 110 or 98 or whatever it is. So I would much rather have that and guarantee or secure a title, one of those, or both, or all, whatever, than worry about a 15 goal record. I think that's something that I would be concerned about after we win the league 2 times in a row, sort of thing. And then the season after, that's what we can care about, the 15 goals or 10 goals a season or whatever it is. So yeah, for me, I agree with Danny Murphy, but at the same time, I don't really care. I just want us to win a title. I want us to win the trophy.
Yeah.
If we concede 50 goals, but then we still win, I couldn't care less. No one's going to ever have that conversation, really, either. Oh, they conceded 50 goals. It doesn't matter, mate. Who cares?
Yeah, I know. Because look at the worst in the last 15 years. Man United conceded 43 and won the Premiership in 2013.
And how many did they score?
I was going to have that stat, but I was just on about the conceded ones, obviously, because we were talking about that. But they'll have scored like 80 or 90. I
was just about to say, yeah, easily in that sort of 80 range. But again, do they care that they conceded 40 plus goals? Who gives a shit, right? They won the title.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So that leads us nicely into our little conversation about. Well, do you know what, Stevie? Let's do it, mate. You tell me. You tell us.
Yeah, go on. So I've just compiled obviously a list of players' names, and I wanted to obviously talk to you about what players would get into sort of our direct rivals, really. So if you think about City, Liverpool, and probably Chelsea, in all honesty, are going to be our direct rivals. So I just compiled obviously a list of all the players that were playing last Saturday and Sunday, and what you thought. And obviously we're still top of the league, but I was just wondering, as the season progresses, I know obviously all these players are not going to sort of stay in the starting 11, but that's the starting 11 for us on Saturday night. what do you think they would get? We'll go through the players individually, and we'll start with Arsenal's and what you think who they would get in as opposed to who. So we'll do like a comparison with sort of Liverpool and City and Chelsea and Arsenal. First of all, obviously we'll talk about the goalkeepers and who you would have as a goalkeeper. So we've got Raya, Donnarumma, Mamardashvili, and Sanchez. What I've done is I've compiled a team.
Mm-hmm. So you've already got your team that you've picked, but this is sort of like, you're asking the question, and we can,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you to see what you think, and if you want, as I'm asking you, if you want to compile your team as well, and it's obviously you can pick your keeper now. So I've gone for Donnarumma. Obviously I know you're not 100% with that, but I do see, obviously, obviously I'm writing off Sanchez. I don't rate Sanchez whatsoever, so he's not in there. Mamardashvili, he's come from a new league. He's been a backup for, obviously, Alisson, which is probably one of the best, so I can't really put Alisson in there because Mamardashvili played on Sunday last week. But I'm ruling him out because, obviously, I don't think he's quite up to speed yet. He might become the best goalkeeper in the Premiership, but I don't know. Raya and Donnarumma, now obviously Donnarumma's come from PSG where they've been brilliant, and Raya obviously got the Golden Glove last year. But with Donnarumma, I just see something completely different. I don't know what it is. You know my feelings on Raya. He's a bit... Obviously what happened on Sunday, I just think he's a bit of a loose cannon at times. As much as I think he is a good shot stopper, I don't think he is the answer to us, and I still don't think we're going to win the Premiership with him. So on that basis, I'm going Donnarumma.
Wow,
he's been there and he's done it.
Wow, talk about a hot, sizzling, hot take. Wow, that was, no, unfortunately I'm gonna have to 100% disagree with you on that one because
I love it.
You know how I feel about Donnarumma, right? I've watched enough of Donnarumma throughout his career, from AC Milan to PSG and now to City, right? I do not care for that keeper. I'd never rated him as a world class, like, I would never put him close to Thibaut Courtois, for example, or to a Manuel Neuer. Like, it would never, ever happen. Not even close to a Ter Stegen, by the way. From what I've seen this season, especially from this season, I'm going to go with David Raya. Like, that's not even... I can't even make a case for any of them. Sanchez, like you said, that's a complete write-off. I don't even know why he was on the list, to be honest. Who's the second keeper?
For Chelsea,
Who's the second keeper? Use him. Use
Mamardashvili.
No, Chelsea's second keeper.
I haven't got a clue.
Use him instead. But Mamardashvili, like you said, he's... I haven't seen enough of him yet to make a clear decision. So for that reason, like you said, I'm not going to include him. But out of Donnarumma and David Raya, then I'm sorry, but it's going to be David Raya. Donnarumma, the only thing I would give Donnarumma is that he's huge, right? He is absolutely huge, but sometimes that works to his detriment as well. So, I'm going to go with Raya on that one.
Okay. David Raya in goal for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Got that here. And do you know what? I've even got the right back as well before we even get into it.
Yeah, well, I think we probably both agree on the right back. My right back is there's only one, and that's Jurriën Timber.
Yeah, move on.
as much as I do like Conor Bradley, and I do think he's a fantastic defender, I seriously think any left winger up against him is really going to be up for it and have the work cut out. But I just think everything going forward, intelligence, gracefulness, speed, just everything about Timbers. He's going to get. He'll be in the Premier League season without a shadow of a doubt.
I agree. And with Conor Bradley, yes, but then Doku faced him last weekend and just absolutely slapped him about.
He did, but he did have him at a time. But Doku, you don't get me wrong. I mean, Doku's in that team.
We'll get to it for sure.
But centre back, centre half. I've gone for our Willie.
Yeah, Saliba on that one.
So you got Willie, Diaz, Konate and Fofana. Willie. So I've got Fofana, who play for Chelsea, Konate, Guardiola, not Diaz, and Saliba.
Yeah, it's going to be Saliba all day, every day. Again, just
Yeah.
like Timber, I don't even think that's up for discussion, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Okay, well, at least we're still looking a bit different. You know, we're the same but different.
Yeah. So the other centre half.
yeah.
So we've got Gabriel. We've got Guardiola. Because he was playing centre half. Guardiola. Where were we at? Sorry about this.
It's the handwriting, isn't it? It's the handwriting. It's
It is
terrible.
because I've not put it on the line.
It's terrible.
It must be Guardiola, and we've got Virgil van Dijk and Chalobah. I've gone for Virgil van Dijk.
Okay. Over Gabriel. I don't know, man. I don't. Are we basing this off like what? Just this season alone, right? Or
Yeah.
just the weekend.
Just the weekend. Just
the weekend.
No, what it is it's not just the weekend. It's basically who would you have as your
Okay, yeah. Okay,
as your
that's fair,
centre half.
that's fair. Okay, if we had this discussion 6 years ago, then yeah, it would have been Van Dijk 100%. Or 3 years ago, it would have been Van Dijk. I think the impact that Gabriel has had for this Arsenal team, and just the way that he is around the team as well, I think I would probably have Gabriel, and add into the fact that Saliba is my other centre-back choice. Again, I have to think about that sort of dynamic there as well. So yeah, for me, it will be Gabriel. I know it's a bit Arsenal-centric, but I'll be honest, our back line, including Raya, has been very fucking good. So it'd be very difficult, especially basing off this season, to go for Van Dijk. I can't do it.
I think.
Go on.
Go on.
So that was just my phone, by the way.
Sorry?
That was just my phone, the little noise that you heard.
No, my concern with Gabriel is just his erratic immaturity at times. I think Virgil van Dijk, yes, I know he's had his critics so far this season, but he's coolness personified, in my opinion. Yes, he can be a bit arrogant, a bit of a twat, and he has lost a yard of pace, but he doesn't normally do things wrong. But with Gabriel, his emotions get the better of him at times, and sometimes, we've seen it in the past where he can, he loses temper and his mind kind of, the red mist comes. I don't think that you get that with Virgil van Dijk. He's technically very good on the ball. I do like he's a good passer. Sometimes Gabriel's a bit one-sided. He just looks a bit ungangly with ungamely with his left foot. I don't think he's got the greatest of left foots personally. I do think he's great in the air though. He's got a lot of attributes. I just think that Virgil van Dijk alongside Saliba, to me, would be the perfect centre-back. Both cool.
Yeah.
Both good in the air.
No, hey, look, again, you can't go wrong with Van Dijk. Of course not. But again, I'm just aware that Van Dijk is getting up there. And again, because we're only talking about this season alone, we're not talking like, as an all-time, team. We're talking about this season alone. So I think I've seen enough of Van Dijk this season, partnered with Konate, to be like, I think he's definitely sort of lost a bit.
Is it because of Konate though?
Possibly, but again, I've seen the way that Van Dijk defends sometimes, and it's always like arse out. And there was a whole meme about him twerking and all that shit, which was hilarious. And again, unfortunately, that's just the way that he defends, and I don't think that's good enough. Whereas Gabby will, again, yes, he will have his mistakes, but he will go in for in terms of defending. He will go in there. He will put his body on the line, whereas I just don't feel Van Dijk does that enough. And the way that he stays back more now, like Van Dijk, I mean, when he stays back, he doesn't. Yeah, so he stays further back than what Gabriel does when we've got set pieces or whatever. So I just feel Gabriel offers more as a full package. So that's why I'm going to go with Gabby on that one. But okay. Fair enough.
Okay,
left
yeah.
back.
So we'll move on to left back. So we have your big mate Ricardo. We have O'Reilly, who plays for Man City. We have Robertson, who played on Sunday for Liverpool, and we have Cucurella. And I'm picking Cucurella.
You are absolutely having my eyes out tonight. I think you are having my eyes out. There's no way you just said you picked Cucurella for your left back. Like you didn't just say that, did you? Wow, that's incredible. Honestly. That's incredible. I mean, that guy is the definition of liability. Like you look at liability, you will see his picture there. He's like a crapper version of that Man U defender, who's the Lisandro Martinez, and he wasn't even that good to begin with. So, wow.
Mate, I'm going by the eye test.
Okay.
The eye test to me, he has everyone that he plays against in his back pocket. Honestly, look, you're not a Spain international for no reason, right? He's playing for Chelsea, and Saka very rarely gets the better. Well, he doesn't get the better of many left backs, to be fair. But I just think Cucurella is so underrated. It's quite frightening, really, and you'll be surprised, and he'll be in the team of the season, the left backs team of the season. Mark my words. Seriously, he's brilliant. People can't get past him. He's really, really good. He scores the odd goal. I think he's all right.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got there's Robertson there, there's O'Reilly, and there's your fucking love child, Calafiori.
See, I guess you made a point about Cucurella, but again, the amount of times I've watched that guy, he is such a brute. And yeah, I don't really care for the way that he plays, to be honest. But that's fair. For me, and it is between Calafiori and O'Reilly, to be honest, because O'Reilly has been very good as well. And to slot into a City team like that at a young age, I think I'm going to probably just edge it with O'Reilly. Yeah, I think I'm just going to edge it with O'Reilly, because with Calafiori, it's not like, sometimes it feels like it's a surprise that he's in the squad. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. It's just like, oh shit, Calafiori's playing. Oh, all right, cool. So I don't know what it is. Maybe because obviously he was quite injury prone last. Was it last season? Last season.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna. O'Reilly just edges it because he's just been a little bit more consistent, but it's definitely between those two. Robertson, he hasn't played enough to warrant a spot, and Kirkes, I know you didn't have him on the list, but that guy's been through a really.
No, I think what worries me about Calafiori, the other three have speed and they've got a bit of pace, and that's my concern. That's been my concern with Calafiori since we signed him. The other three do have a bit of pace, and I do think you need, as a left back or right back, you need pace, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to come up against a winger with pace or who's tricky, and unfortunately with Calafiori he tends to either foul them or get done for pace, doesn't he? And that's the concern personally. So anyway, that's another fair point on Calafiori. So like I said, that's why I'm going to choose O'Reilly on this. But okay, let's move on. Yeah, so just quickly, reiterate what we've got.
Recap.
Donnarumma in goal.
Yep.
Yeah, recap. Sorry, I've got Timber at right back, Saliba centre half, Virgil van Dijk, and Cucurella. And who have you got?
So I've got Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and O'Reilly. That's my back line right now.
Okay. Should we do right wing?
Yeah, let's do right wing. Yeah.
Right wing. We have Starboy Saka.
Sorry, are we going straight into right wing? Are we not doing midfield?
Oh, sorry. Midfield.
Let's do midfield.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah. So I'm doing a 4-4. I'm doing a 4-4-1-2. That's my lineup.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, so I'm just looking at a 4-3-3. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's
fine.
Go. Let's go.
So okay. Well, so anyway, who I've gone for? So right midfield or right wing or whatever which way you're gonna do it. So we've got Neto, Saka, Foden, and who else have we got? Sorry. No, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Sorry, we've got Neto, centre midfield.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do centre midfield.
So we've got Zubimendi, Silva, Gravenbach, and Caicedo.
Ooh, that's a good one. I do like Gravenberch, though. I'll be honest. But Zubimendi has been very, very good. So I'm going to go... Do you know what? I'm going to go fucking Caicedo.
Quickly, hang on, let me just change that one up a bit. Let me just change that one up.
Go on, don't make me choose like that. Moises. Let me choose Moises.
What have I said? Sorry. So, yeah, so... Zubimendi.
For those who are listening out there, right, Stevie's handwriting is absolutely appalling. It looks like worse than a doctor's scribble, so that's why he's having trouble right now.
Right, so we've got Zubimendi,
yes,
Silva,
yes,
Gravenbach,
yep,
and Caicedo.
Okay.
I have gone for Gravenberch.
Yeah. See, I like what you're saying, but you know what? I'm going to go with Caicedo because he's had some good matches in there. Zubimendi has been very good as well. Of course, it is between them two, but I'm going to go with Moises on this one.
Okay.
Caicedo, right?
So
okay, I like it.
The next one, you've got Rice, Gonzalez,
No,
who played for City.
I'm going to go with Rice.
You've got McAllister, and you've got Fernandes.
Bruno.
No,
Which Fernandes?
Fernandes for Chelsea.
Oh yeah. Oh no. God no. Yeah. Absolutely not. No. I'm going to go. No, that's Rice for me. Thank you very much.
I've gone for Rice. Yeah. Rice.
So that's again, that doesn't need to be explained. We've already explained that at the beginning of the podcast. So go back and listen to that. So all right. Okay. So I've got Rice.
So that's your two in midfield. So I've got Rice and Gravenberch. I don't know. You've got.
I've got Caicedo and Rice.
Caicedo and Rice.
Caicedo and
nice
Rice. That's fucking. Come on, tell me that's not a good midfield right there. Caicedo and Rice.
Well, I think I think Rice and Gravenberch. Do you think he's an argument for both, isn't it?
I do like Gravenberch. I do like him. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's move on.
I think they're very similar though, aren't they? I think that's who I'd like as a replacement for Rice and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? So if we had Gravenberch as to come on for Rice, that'd
be good.
We'd be that's what we would need to look for in January. But okay, so. They're your midfielders, central midfielders.
Yeah,
so I'm going for 4-4-2. So my next one would be a right winger. So you've got Saka, you've got Foden, you have Salah, and you have Neto.
I'm going to go Salah.
I'll pick Neto.
Okay, that's fair.
Just purely down to what he does bring, I think I think we've missed a trick going for him. I do seriously think we should have signed him. I know Madway is pretty good, but I think for speed, technical ability, he's low centre of gravity. He's one of those tricky wingers that he always seems to create something. He always, I mean, obviously, you know,
he's like Madueke, isn't he? Like Madueke sort of does what Neto does, to be honest. And I think that's why they got rid of Madueke because of that reason. But yeah, once he comes back, I really like him. I really rate him now, you know, and I want to see him back. But okay, that's fair enough. I mean, that's a good case for Neto, to be honest. And it's not like Salah's been great this season, you know, so far. But I just feel like, you know, when you've got someone like a Salah, that's a Premier League winning player, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Even now, even like again, if Liverpool went, we're going to ship off Salah, and you know we can go in. You would go in for him. Of course you would. Of course you would.
We go. It's like we were saying about Van Dijk and Gabriel. You pick Gabriel because of, you know, Salah. Yes, over the last 5-6 years, obviously. Yeah. But just purely on that season and form and things like that. I'm going Neto just from what he brings to Chelsea. I think he's a proper electric player.
He is, but he's more of a runner without a finishing product. Do you know what I mean? That's
scored against us.
All right, 1 goal, well done. Shit. So I'm just saying, like, I feel like, you know, consistency-wise, it's always going to be Salah. Whether it's 5 years ago or even this season, he is a player that you will have on the field and ready to play, and you can't get more of a magician in the Premier League than Salah, to be honest. So even like I said, even this season where he hasn't been great, but yeah, for me, that's hands down him. But okay.
Salah then,
okay, let's move on.
Yeah, left wing we have Leo Trossard for us. We have Florian Wirtz.
So, okay, sorry. This is for people who are not realised. This is just the players that played last weekend compared with our team.
Yes, it's not your strongest. It's not your first starting 11 for your team. It's who played on Saturday and who would get into each our team. What team would we be able to formulate from these
those
4
players.
teams?
Yeah.
So Trossard was on our left wing. Then you had Florian Wirtz on the left wing for Liverpool. You had Garnacho. Sorry, not Garnacho. Yes. You did Garnacho on left wing for Chelsea, and we had Doku. And I don't think there's any
that's
debate really.
Just say it. Just say it. Just so we can move on. Just say it so we can move on.
Okay. Okay, Doku it is.
Yeah, Doku it is.
So
and just by the way, Garnacho shouldn't even be on a list like this. Let's just be honest. I know obviously he played for Chelsea. I get the rules of the game, but he shouldn't even be on a list like this. That's how terrible he's been. Florian Wirtz, the Wirtz. Let's just be honest. He's been the Wirtz. So yeah, there was only going to be one player. Leo Trossard, as good as he is and as much as we like him as a player, and for what he does for us, you can't compare his impact to what Doku brings, and especially last weekend where he absolutely tortured Liverpool. So yeah, that's Doku for me. I'm just going to write his name down here.
If we had Doku, I'd be so. I think that the league would be ours. Seriously, he's that good.
He is excellent.
That good.
He's an excellent player, and I think was it ourselves that we had this conversation where, or was I listening to something where they were saying about Doku not exploding onto the scene just yet? He's not seen as a world-class player just yet, but he's on the verge. And that match, I can't remember what I was listening to, but they said something along those lines.
Well, we could have signed him, couldn't we? We passed up the opportunity in 2019, I think it was.
Yeah, when he was
where we could have signed him.
Yeah.
When he was playing for Lille or Rennes or something like that.
It's a shame, but shit, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doku for me on that one. Okay, moving on.
An attacking midfielder, obviously the number 10 role. Mm-hmm. So you've got, we had Eze, you had Cherki, you had Soboslai, and you had João Pedro for Chelsea.
Okay, you go first.
Yeah, so controversial one again. I really like João Pedro. One of my underrated players. I think he's such a tricky player. I know we were linked with him in the summer, and I was like, should we get him? But what I've seen of him, what he does, he's a tricky, dirty, clever player, and for me, he wins for hands down. I think he offers more than Eze. Soboslai's hit and miss, and obviously Cherki, he's all right, but I don't think he stands out as much as what I think.
Cherki's been
he's been good, yeah. I think he has been, but for me, Pedro, he scored the goals.
That's fair.
And I think that's the main thing.
That's fair. I put Cherki down because I think he's just such an exciting player. And imagine having him and Doku in your team doing what they do. It's I don't know. There's something about watching Man City and you see them two and then Haaland on top of that. You think, for God's sake, man, why won't these guys just fuck off? But they never do. They just come back stronger with better players. And for me, Cherki is probably he's the guy. He's the guy for me. But I can understand the João Pedro inclusion there. But again, from what I've seen, the limited matches that I've seen of Chelsea, he hasn't been impressive at all. Like, he's sort of wasteful. He's a wasteful player the way I see him. He can run. He can definitely make the right runs. But I feel like he's just a bit too wasteful for what they need him for, sort of thing. But again, it's not like I watch Chelsea every weekend.
No, it's not that all I see with Pedro is that he seems to know where the goal is. He pops up with decent goals. He's always there. He's getting headers. He's got some nice goals with his feet as well. I just think he's got his overall games nice. It would be suited probably better to us than Eze, unfortunately. But I understand where you're coming from with Cherki. But to me, I think with Cherki, he's got great players helping him in the likes of Doku, Foden, and obviously Haaland, that he probably gets a bit more space, and that's obviously with Odegaard. I think he's very similar to Odegaard personally in his way he plays. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and I think so, just a striker to go.
So Marino.
Can we just? Okay,
so you got Marino, Ekitike, Delap, and Haaland.
Delap. No, it's always going to be Haaland.
Absolutely, yeah.
Always going to be Erling Haaland.
Yeah, I think what my argument is, and where I'm trying to get with this is, our team. What players would get into each team, if you know what I mean?
But interestingly, sorry, Stevie, just a real quick, right? Interestingly, when you look at the teams that we've accumulated, right? What's the main positions that we've changed? Right, think about it that way.
What do you mean, sorry?
So for me, when I'm looking at the team that I've got here, which I'll read out very shortly, but my attacking three are Salah, Haaland and Doku. Do you know what I mean? But I think that should say a lot to what we're missing from our team. So again, you look at that and then you look at the defence that I've chosen especially. It's like, okay, well, midfield, okay, Caicedo, fair enough, but I could have Zubimendi in there as well, absolutely no problem. But you can see the sort of the team back end were very good, but it's always the forward lines that we're missing on. That's the way that's the way I've sort of looked at this,
I mean, I look at my team. I'm not just saying it because we've picked a slightly different team, but I look at my team, and when I think about it, I know games aren't won on paper and premierships aren't won, etc., etc. But I look at my team, and I just think it's got everything. You know, I'm going to start, obviously, Donnarumma, you've got Saliba and Virgil van Dijk as your central, this is your spine of your team. So you've got Donnarumma, big, strong, strapping keeper, 6'8" or whatever he is. You've got Saliba and Virgil van Dijk. You're not going to penetrate that. You've got Rice and Gravenberch in the midfield. You've got Haaland up front. That to me is the strongest spine. And you know, I think anything with Haaland in, obviously he's got a great chance, but I think with obviously our defence, Saliba and Virgil van Dijk, and then you've got the obviously your mate Cucurella and Timber, and the Doku thing. You've got, I think, the Doku, Haaland, Rice, Gravenberch, that sort of nucleus with the excitement of Neto on the other side. And that's what we've been saying, and that's what I'm trying to say with our team. It doesn't, our current squad of 11 that played against Sunderland doesn't have that
that's what I'm saying, Steve.
Power, grace, and everything. He hasn't got everything that you need.
Exactly. And that's what I'm gaining from this. That, like, the conclusion that I can draw from this team. So for me, it's Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabby, and O'Reilly. Right. So that back line, including the keeper, is pretty much our back line. Do you know what I mean? It's what we had over the weekend. So I'm happy with that personally. You know, that is no problem. And then you had Caicedo and Rice, but again, when I could just as easily replace Caicedo with Zubimendi in there. You know, but I just feel like with Caicedo, he's a bit more aggressive, where it's like, all right, okay, he'll go in there and he'll snap some ankles. So when you got him and Rice, you know, in that sort of role, come on, yeah, that's a great midfield to have. But what my point being is that it's always the front line, the front four is the only thing that's changed really from our own team. Like I said, you got Cherki, Salah, Haaland, and Doku. You know, so again, none of our players, but that's what's missing. And again, the weekend, when we compare it that way, this was what was missing. You know, a Haaland type player to score the goals, or a Salah type player to sort of make something happen. You know, because Saka's not doing it for me right now.
No,
as we've said before.
Not. And if you look at, I'll let you come in again. But when you look at the great teams of the past, especially with the likes of Barcelona, when you had Messi, you had Suarez, and who else was the other player they had? It was MSM, wasn't it? Neymar, yeah. You had that. I mean, look at that three going forward. It was frightening as fuck, wasn't it? And that's what.
Who did they have behind? You know, it was a full midfield. It was a full squad from defence to midfield to attack.
What was he called? So
you had
the Xavi and Iniesta. Yeah, absolutely frightening, wasn't it? It was the creativity. It was everything was just intricate. It was just exciting. It was free flowing. It was fast. And Guardiola and but unfortunately, Arteta seems to have gone the opposite way. He's gone to the negative side of it. Now I don't know whether he's trying to build and then he will implement and gets these sort of quick, nimble type footballers. But so far he hasn't. And we're 6 years in, and we've got Saka, Eze, Trossard, and Marino.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that doesn't get in.
Don't read it out like that. Don't read the names out altogether. All right.
Listen, don't get me wrong, they're decent players in their own right, aren't they? They're decent players, but they're never going to be challenging Barcelona's, Bayern Munich's, either Real Madrid's, Man City. They're never going to challenge.
Not with the attacking flair that they do, and Bayern are exactly the same as well. They've got Kane, Gnabry's been doing well as well, and they've got Diaz in there. Elise as well. Again, so top, like the front four are just absolutely fantastic to watch, and they play just brilliant football. And for us, like you said, Arteta's worked out the defence and the midfield. Up to the attacking midfield, and then it's like, okay, well, Eze is not really doing that Odegaard role. Odegaard's not really doing what you need him to do from that type of player, and of course, it's not translating to the front three. And you know, we just got one striker. He's injured. He hasn't been around long enough for us to make any sort of decision about him. But you know, he is. So a bit of time has to
look at PSG, look at Doué, look at Dembele, look at Kvaratskhelia, or whatever he's called, and Kvaratskhelia. You know,
he would be a player that I would have just loved to have for us. Honestly,
just tricky, fast, nimble, everything, and he shoots a lot. You know, we've got nothing like that.
No, not. I mean, even Saka, like, again, you can't make an argument for Saka doing that this season, especially. So yeah, it's funny to see that and see that the front four are the main change for both of us. You know, not one of us has picked Saka in there. Not one of us has put Trossard in there. You know, so as much. So again, this goes back to what I said last weekend as well. It's individually they're not the sort of world class, world beater sort of thing. You know, even including Saka, by the way. I don't care, including Saka. So, but as a squad, they play very well together, and I think that's been our strength so far. As a squad, we played very well together. But then again, you take one element out of that, which being Gyökeres and Odegaard or whatever it is, then yeah, it starts falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, then you start struggling. Then you start seeing the same boring football, the same boring crap that we've been used to, and we just absolutely hate. But yeah, again, my conclusion at the end of that is that we just need more exciting front players, forwards. That's the correct word. That's the correct word.
True. It's absolutely true. You spot on about, we lose one aspect of this great machine that we've got, the likes of Rice or Gabriel or Gyökeres, and it falls apart, whereas the other teams that have got this attacking flair, they don't rely so much on them one individuals and that defence. They've got great attacking players that if you lose one, it's not so bad because you've still got 3 or 4 that can come in and, they might not play as free-flowing without one player out, but they've still got the nucleus of the attackers there. If Doku goes out, they've still got Ford and they've still got what's he called? I can't remember the other player, but they've still got a lot of attacking players. It's like, if Salah goes out, they've still got the Dutch winger. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, damn.
We've still got Wirtz, they've got Ekitike, they've got Isak, they've got Salah, but if Salah goes out, they've got what's he called, the left winger. He's not a bad player, Dutch player, quite tall, dark hair. I can't remember.
Gakpo, yeah, Cody Gakpo, yeah, of course.
Gakpo, yeah, whereas we lose one, we lose Gyökeres, it's like, what the fuck now have we got? We lose Saka or we lose whoever. We've been crying out Martinelli and Trossard aren't as good as what Doku is or Neto or whoever, but we haven't got that world-class nucleus. We've got a decent team and we've got a decent squad when everyone's fit, but unfortunately that's not going to win into the Premiership.
Wow, some absolutely damning words to potentially bring the podcast to an end. So, I don't know about that. But no, I get you. Like I said, I get you. And again, this little exercise that we did tonight, I think this sort of proves our point really. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with it, which is completely fine. And do let us know your opinions and thoughts in the comments and make a case. Make a case for why you would have Saka instead of Salah, for example, or why you'd have Trossard instead of Doku. Marino instead of Haaland. Madness. So yeah, look, Stevie, do you know what? I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that because it sort of opened my eyes a little bit to realize that we still are longing for these forward type players. So when you put
is
it,
that
when
the
you
manager's fault though?
But this is what I'm saying. So when you put it into paper like that, it kind of brings me down a little bit more because, like you said, is it up to the manager? Why is he not buying these types of players? I know he wants squad type players where everyone works as a team and there's not a shining star, but you can't have that and then call Saka, our star boy sort of thing. You can't really have both ways because individually he's not performing to the best of his abilities right now. But as a squad, he sort of like blends in and you kind of go, yeah, all right, he played all right. Do you know what I'm saying? But when you sort of ask him to win a game for you, dude, he's not doing that. He scored for England, didn't he? I think over the week.
Yeah, he scored
for England. So did Eze, I think, right? So
yeah, Eze's goal was good.
But yeah, very good by the way. Yeah, but a Saka goal was pretty much kind of like a Saka goal. It was alright actually. It was a good goal. Fair enough.
It wasn't a bad finish.
Yeah, I can't take that away from him. So he's doing it for England. Fair enough. We're not slating him for that. So that should be an indication to people that we do not hate him. We just want really, really a lot more from him for Arsenal. So, right, yes, Stevie, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So
anything else
it was good. It was good. Yeah. I've got a couple of things. I know obviously we'll wrap it up now. I've got a couple of things obviously just briefly. So I want to talk about Eze and I want to talk about obviously the 3 upcoming fixtures that we've got. Just quickly on Eze, I thought he does play better on the left, and the concern with him playing better on the left and Arteta using him in the middle kind of worries me. The fact is that why aren't you playing him in his preferred position? Getting the best out of him by playing him on the left. He does seem to play a lot. He looks to fish out of water personally in central midfield, and that concerns me. I hope they just play him on the left, but he's got his favourites. He shoehorns, obviously, him into midfield. Same with when he had Partey and he put him at right back. He'd like to keep Trossard happy or whatever. I just think you don't do that when you try to win something. You play your better players in their position that will make your team better. Personally, he is. Don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, I'll agree, because the way that he's been used right now, I'm not a big fan of. And when he does play on the left, he's quite an exciting player, to be honest, because he has the movement, he's got the speed, he's got the technique.
Semenyo-esque, isn't he?
Exactly. You need that strong player to come in from the wing, and that's one of the things that Martinelli misses is his strength. That he's not really a strong player. Same as Trossard. Yes, he's a little bit, he's shorter and whatnot, but again, that doesn't mean that he has to be weak, but he's not the strongest of players. Whereas Eze, he has that package, and I know that sounds very wrong, by the way, but that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, he has.
He probably
that.
does as well.
He probably does.
So.
I don't know, probably. But so he offers something different from the left, and I do like it. But I feel like if he's playing in from the left, then you need someone like an Odegaard to sort of orchestrate the middle of the park when he's got Saka to one side, on one area. So again, you need a player who's very fluid in that role. And I think if Eze had someone on the left who would make those better runs and find it, like a Doku, for example, right? I think Eze would probably flourish a little bit more, because he can pass a ball, he's got vision, but when you're asking him to sort of, cover that whole front line, not really. I've always thought of him as a free roaming player, and I don't think he's doing that right now. So yeah, I agree. I'm not going to say I'm worried about Eze, but it's difficult, Stevie, to judge the team when it's not fully back together. It's very difficult, because it feels like everyone's playing in ad hoc positions. So yeah, I'm not going to say worried, but yeah, I understand your point about Eze. It's like he's not really the most effective in where he's playing right now.
He's not effective, and when he's playing for England, he's got those players that are making those runs. That you said he is very good at finding other players that make those runs across the centre from the centre to the attacking part of the pitch. But our players don't seem to do that. I know Gyökeres does. Saka doesn't, but I know Gyökeres does, and I know obviously when Eze was playing for England, obviously Kane does, and obviously Rashford came on. I thought Rashford played well.
Excellent player, by the way, Rashford.
These have all got intelligence, and this is football intelligence, which I know that a lot of players for us lack. And just quickly, by the way, what was Saka doing when he got through on goal and he was like with the keeper and he passed it and he was actually 2 yards out? I mean, what on earth?
Yeah.
Pass when you shoot.
Yeah, it goes back to what you say about Saka. So again, it should have been evident for people. This again, we are not talking shit. All right, our eyes are not deceiving us. So please watch the matches and take your fucking rose tinted glasses off whilst you're watching Saka, please. So, but yeah, I'm not really worried about Eze, to be honest with you. I feel like once the team's back,
I'm more worried about Arteta not playing him in the right position personally.
Yeah. And I think with Gyökeres being back, coming back hopefully soon, I think Eze has been more effective really, because again, when he's afforded the space outside the box in that sort of the 18-yard line sort of thing, I think that's where he is very effective, because he can shoot a ball. Again, he can he can do a quick little shimmy, curl it in, or just find a nice little pass for Gyökeres, for example, which again he has done over the season. But yeah, and again, you proved my point there, where you said for the England squad, he's got the players to make the runs, all of the players to make them runs, and again, he's very good, and I like watching him play for England, because they have a better talent, and now that they've got a coach like Tuchel as well, a proper coach, I feel they are a very good team. So we don't have that level of talent throughout our squad. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad that Eze, Rice, and Saka are obviously playing for England. I'm glad they made it there, but yeah, we don't have a full squad of that sort of talent for Eze to flourish. But so that's the way I look at it really. But yeah, so you want to, obviously we've got three extremely difficult fixtures coming up. Oh God's sake, who's first, Stevie? Who's first? Fuck it, who's first? Spuds at home, right?
We're at home.
Yeah, we're at home. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now, okay, we'll do a quick prediction just for this match, because that's by the time we come back over the weekend, we've already watched it. So, all right, hit me with a prediction.
I think the worrying thing, I keep saying the worrying thing, What concerns me is that we play. I've noticed we play like my analogy of the way that we actually go and progressing through the season is we're like a balloon getting pumped up. So we're playing really well, and it's we're winning, not conceding, and all of a sudden the balloon comes down.
Like the
I think that's what's
bubble.
just happened at the bubble burst, yeah, and that's what's happened against Sunderland. And I feel as deflated as that balloon, and I think there's the teams like that, and we'll go on another run. I'm just concerned that balloon and bubble might not start blowing up until after the Chelsea game.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying that is because our players. The reason why I believe that is because, it's all right saying our players are going to be back, but I don't think they're going to be up match fit. Saying Jesus, Havertz, Gyökeres might play. Obviously, Gabriel might not. I'm really worried about the Tottenham game. I know we'll always do well against them, but they're very good away from home. Obviously, they beat City. I think they've only conceded 3 away from home all season, so they're really good on the road. I know it's a derby, and I know it's the biggest derby of the season. I just hope we can get through it. I'd rather win that one. I'd rather lose against Bayern and beat Chelsea. I don't give a fuck about the Bayern game. It's all right to win, but I don't want us to go in. I think we've got to win, and he plays his full squad, and Rice gets injured, blah, blah, blah. But I think the Tottenham game is an imperative for our sort of momentum to get it back up to speed again and going. If we lose it, dread to think the next couple of games will be.
Yeah. It's a very, very steep slope, isn't it? Once that Tottenham match, if we lose that Tottenham match, so yeah, I really hope that we can be close to full strength as much as possible. I know, like you said, players are injured and they may not be match fit. So, but I feel like we've got enough to beat them. I think they haven't settled down as a team just yet, that they still have their flaws, and I feel like Thomas Frank is still figuring them out and figuring out the sort of the best team that he can use. And look, when you see Richarlison taking his fucking clothes off for what turned out to be an equaliser, I can't really take that team seriously and their players. They've got some stupid players there. Like Richarlison, it's like, dude, you need to calm your emotions, man. This is not a final. The game is not over. None of that, okay? And it proved. And again, he looked like a tit. So I feel like we've got enough. I don't have that sort of fear against Tottenham as I would have had 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when we just weren't performing well. I feel we've got better players than they do. But then again, look, anything can happen. It's a North London derby, and like you said, it's the biggest derby for us of the season, or one of 2, obviously, for the reverse match. But yeah, I think we've got enough to beat Tottenham. I don't think it's going to be obviously super easy, but again, if I had to make a prediction, I'm probably going to go with a 2-0.
I knew you were going to say that.
There you go.
I'm not going to say my worry. I think if Kudus plays, I know he was injured for the last game. If Kudus plays, I think they've got enough to beat us. If he doesn't play, I think we'll beat him. That's how good he is.
Nah, okay, that's fair. He's a good player, but I don't think he's the difference maker for that team. To be honest, I think that team's got some other issues where they're not functioning properly in defence and especially closing out games. So I think there's a lot for us to sort of to exploit, using that word for the second time tonight. So yeah, there's a lot for us to exploit there, and I think we will. I think coming back from the international break, and obviously from that Sunderland game, yeah, I think the players will be determined to take a win, especially at home against Tottenham. So that's the way I look at it.
Clean sheet, 2-0.
2-0. And what you say?
I'll match it.
Okay, 2-0 it is. Well, obviously we'll be back after that match, and hopefully we can just carry on this theme of winning. Back to regular schedule programming and all that jazz. But yeah, Stevie, look, if you don't have anything else to add for the evening, my friend, we will leave it there. We will get this podcast out for everyone. And hand up, go on. Glasses.
Sorry,
well.
I did have one thing that obviously we were talking about. We were talking about Gabriel and his injury. Now, if it's a grade 1 strain, I've got this stat. If it's a grade 1 strain, which even If we hope there is, it's 1 to 3 weeks. Grade 2 is 3 to 6 weeks. Grade 3 is 3 to 4 months.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm
Just
still
leave it
gonna,
on a nice happy note there.
I'm still gonna go with the fact that I think it's a fake. I'm gonna stick with
If
that.
it is a fake, I'd love it. I'd be texting you and saying, "Wow."
Yeah, I'm
Amazing.
gonna stick with that, to be honest. But we'll see for the Tottenham game. So cool. Right, thank you so much for listening, everyone, and please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow, all that kind of nice stuff. And we are on YouTube, so please, if you know that's the only place where you watch or listen to podcasts, then go over there, leave a comment, and all that kind of nice stuff. And yeah, we'll be back over the weekend, hopefully celebrating another win against our bitter rivals in North London. Stevie, it's a good night from me. Stay safe, stay alert.
Au revoir. Oui, oui. Arrivederci.
Wow. Love it.